Harbaugh says this isn't necessarily about one-on-one competition, but knowing the competitor that you are, how do you balance the idea of making plays versus growing day to day in these practices, knowing that it's not like training camp and it's really not like a regular?
Yeah, I'm just continually just trying to learn this system. It's new to me. It's new to everybody here. It's been really cool to have a lot of amazing minds kind of collab and make something that's been really fun to operate. So I think everybody out here is just trying to go along with just competing, but just executing. There's steps in my game that I want to grow as within the pocket. So I just think that each and every rep you're just trying to identify pre-snap, post-snap reads, and then just be really solid with progressions. And those are just steps that I'm trying to take this time for sure.
What do you like about this system so far?
Well, it's a lot of things that I haven't done before, so it's been fun to kind of get new experiences, try new things, have communication with the coaches on what I like, what they like, and get a ton of reps at it. So I think that's been fun for me. At the same time, there's a little bit more that's involved within it. So it's been fun to learn to have the command, the control at the line of scrimmage, and you have the keys to get what you want and put your offense in the best situation. So it's very versatile. There's a lot of just things that we can do within the system from a personnel standpoint, and the guys have been able to pick it up at a good level, and we've been able to play fast.
What's your sense of Mooney and some of the new guys and the challenge of getting a rapport with them? You don't have those rapport perfectly now, but you wanted to sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I think it benefited us to have time before we even came back here early, and we got a lot of reps in the off season before we came back. So just having those conversations before we even got here of what's your timing on this route, what are your kind of favorite releases, and what my footwork's going to look like to match up with his route. So with a lot of the new guys here, that's really been day-to-day communication, and they're just dudes who are just bought into the grind and into what we're doing here. So it's been really fun each and every day.
Where was that? When you guys work?
California. Mm-hmm.
What are some of the things that are in this offense you haven't done a lot before?
Definitely a lot more of the under center action game. For sure, I just think that the overall command, there's a lot of kills, alerts that go into really every play. We're able to play fast, but at the same time, there's a lot that's on the quarterback's shoulders, and so I just think that it's really just another growth, another stepping point into my experience as an NFL quarterback, and I think it's just been really fun to just learn these new things and expand my knowledge of the game.
I know the cadence became a thing last year, but it's hard count when you guys are really emphasizing.
Oh yeah, we got him to jump a lot today. That was fun.
Obviously this is year two, but it sounds like there's still a lot of learning going in. So how do you kind of balance what you want to build on from last year, but you're also kind of like learning a new system almost like last year in a way?
Yeah, I mean, I think that every time that you're learning a new system, there's a lot of things that you have experience from a terminology standpoint, especially when you're in the NFL and you're able to learn at a faster rate. And not only me, I mean, a lot of the coaches, this is a brand new system from a communication terminology standpoint. So I think everybody out here is learning. And, we've been able to put in a really good plan in place to take those necessary steps each day where it's not overwhelming, but at the same time, it's very versatile. And there's just a lot of things that we can do within it.
What was your reaction when you first heard CC say he was going to die for you on draft night?
No, I was hyped. I was yelling at the TV back to him. He was the guy, on the offensive line that I was, hoping that we would be able to get. Watched a lot of his tape, with some of the coaches and the people here, and we were just, I was thrilled, just to get the chance to play with him. I followed him since he was a high recruit out of high school and went to IMG, so I also tried to get him, to play with me in college, so just happy to get the chance to play with him.
What stood out about his tape that you liked?
He's very natural. He hasn't played a ton of guard in his career, but already coming out here, just his ability to pick up on things fast. just some of his technique is elite for being a young guy. I mean, he's only 20 years old, so he's still like a baby in the league, and he has amazing feet. He's very strong, very powerful. He's a great dude. Loves the game. You see him late in the facilities here. You see him working out, getting those extra reps in. So I just think that he's going to bring the right mindset and be a really good guy in the room as well.
What are your early impressions of Isaiah Likely?
He's just a ball player. He's kind of unorthodox in some ways that he moves, but he's extremely savvy and smart. And so it's awkward, for guys to cover him because he's able to just, as a big guy of his stature, just being able to bend and move in certain ways makes it really hard for defenders. And he has a great mind of the game. So, against zone coverages, he's able to find zones. And, you saw him in Baltimore too, like on scramble drills, just his instincts taking over and making really good plays with Lamar. So it's been great, and I'm super happy to have another playmaker like him out there.
Jaxson, I don't want to be the creepy guy, but it looks like you're bigger and stronger than you were last year. Is that a focus this offseason?
Yeah, I think that when you just get into the league, there's a little bit more resources that you have when it comes to nutrition standpoint, building out a plan. Had a really good off season. And I was happy to make it through this past season healthy. So being able to continue to make those strides, those growths, and make plans in place of where I wanted to get better at, especially with just my health and nutrition.
Is your weight high? I'm sorry. Go ahead. Your weight up or body fat down?
I'm actually pretty similar from a weight standpoint. I just think that I'm just leaner. And our strength staff has done an amazing job.
Is there any danger in your position to being too muscular, too strong?
Oh yeah, I'm not close to that. No. I'm not like Tim Tebow. I'm not like that.
Right. No, because Eli always worked on flexibility more than muscle tone. It got him through however many 200 straight games. So.
Yeah, I think that I'm probably the most mobile that I've been in my career right now. From just my hips and the disassociation from my upper body to my lower body, being able to make throws. I think that my body's in the best shape it's been.
You were asked the other day about the whole sliding thing and protecting yourself, and you've been considered, the NFL is different than college. You were more aware of it. I'm just curious how much, you have a new regime here, right? How much they talk about that with you, or if they, preach that to you, hey, you need to get down on certain situations. If that's something that is at the forefront of their radar at all.
Yeah, we had, that was one of our first meetings, with Coach Callahan, just pulling up my tape and, just going over situationally, is it worth the risk here in this situation? And, that's what we talk about a ton is just situationally, just being smart. Coach Giro talked about it today, it's important for the quarterback to make sure that, how he's feeling one play, that he's going to feel, that same way the next play. And then at the same time, just having the experience last year of sitting out 2 games, and I hadn't done that in my career. So, I just hated that time of not being out there with my teammates. So I obviously understand, the most important thing is to be out there. So you just grow and learn from things. And yeah, I think I'm going to do a good job at it this year for sure.
Given your competitiveness, though, is that difficult? How do you balance that?
My competitiveness isn't going to change at all. I think it just, like I said, it just goes into situationally, just what times it's worth it, what times it's not, and, just making those mature decisions.
Obviously, you have your own expectations within these walls, but can you feel the excitement and optimism outside this organization of the team going into this year? And if you can, how does that impact you guys right now this time of year?
Yeah, for sure. This fan base and everything around it, everybody's been hungry for so long, especially to have an established culture and identity as a team, a product that can be consistent on the field each week. And, lucky for us, we got a coach who is well beyond established in what he's done in his career. And, I think everybody within the organization, it's been really unique to just see, the amount of buy-in that we've had so far. And everybody's just hungry each and every day, and I think it starts with the guy at the top.
You said you wanted to throw in the pocket. Just take us through, what does that mean? What do you want to do better in that regard?
I just think, from a footwork standpoint, being able to be cleaner throughout my reads. I think that there's times where, you look back on tape and experiences, and maybe you weren't as quick as you wanted to be through a progression. You look back and you say, why was that? And it starts with your eyes, making sure they're in the right spots. And that's been a huge emphasis with Coach Callahan of watching different guys' tapes and the amount of elite NFL quarterbacks that he's coached and been around, and just his knowledge being able to shed onto me about that stuff has been really cool. And I think it's just been an emphasis for us on a communication level of just growing in that department as a quarterback.
Your buddy joked about getting 1,000 carries the other night. Obviously, I'm joking.
Yeah.
I assume they're going to leave some plays for you on the table.
Oh, for sure. No, they'll be out there. Those aren't ever going to leave.